discuss about on today's show. Yes, we've got the Champions League games that went down yesterday. The Europa League games would be going down today as well. And then there's a little issue of the MPFL and then the Super Eagles of Nigeria. This and a whole lot more we would be discussing about on today's show. I am not alone. I'm joined by my right hand man in the person of Azan Shuarao. And once we return back from this break, we'll be going straight to our conversation. So do well to stay tuned. We'll be back in a bit. Alright guys, once again you're welcome back to Football Domain on your number one online television channel CTV. I am your host Wisdom Chumba, joined by Azan Shuaral, and today guys we've got some interesting topics. Like I said before we went on the break, if you're just joining us for the first time, Football Domain is the show where we get to discuss everything relating to football. Yes, everything in the world of football, be it from the European scene or from the local scene, we've got you covered right here on Football Domain on your favorite online television channel CTV. So we're gonna go straight to our conversation, and the first topic we're going to be starting off with is the UEFA Champions League. We saw match day 4 got concluded yesterday, and some interesting results coming from Tuesday as well as Wednesday. And I'm going to be coming to you, Azan, on this one. Welcome to the show, Azan. Another exciting midweek of football. We saw some interesting results, and the one that got everyone talking was Pep Guardiola and the new Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim. But not just that alone, the team that decided to boycott the Ballon d'Or ceremony were also humiliated at home, and we saw and the Slot continue their impressive run. So many games went down, but for you, which was the most impressive game?
I think well, first, thank you for having me, Wisdom. Thank you. It's so much pleasure to be here, and you always want to talk about sports, one of the most interesting aspects of our lives these days. So,
Telling you, my brother.
as regarding the games that went down during the week, Tuesday and Wednesday in the Champions League, I feel like the most shocking, I think, is for that Spaniard manager, Pep Guardiola, getting the beating of his life. I think it's kind of surprising. Every fan we feel like no, Pep Guardiola is a good tactician. His Manchester City team, they're a very good team. So they can go out there and and get the job done. But getting there, it's kind
Yeah,
of
getting whooped.
it's kind of shocking. It's kind of shocking.
Well, let me just give you a rundown of all of the games that went down in the UEFA Champions League for match day 4, so you can have an idea of what we are talking about. We're starting up with PSV, who got the better of Girona by 4 goals to 0, and then we saw Bratislava lost to Dynamo Zagreb by 4 goals to 1, and then Borussia Dortmund got the better of Storm by a goal to 0. Bologna lost at home to Monaco by a goal to 0 as well. Celtic got the better of RB Leipzig by 3 goals to 1. And Lille and Juventus ended 1-0. Liverpool at Anfield smashed Boniface and Xabi Alonso by 4 goals to 0. And then Real Madrid got whooped at the Santiago Bernabeu by AC Milan 3 goals to 1. And then Sporting CP, Ruben Amorim, showing Pep a glimpse of what you should expect from him in the Premier League, defeating Manchester City by 4 goals to 1. And Club Brugge surprised Aston Villa, where Tyrone Mings did what we would call a defender's nightmare. He picked up the ball with his hand in the penalty box from a goal kick from Emiliano Martinez, one that is probably going to haunt him for some time. But hey, he's going to try to move on from it. They lost by a goal to 0, courtesy of that penalty considered by Tyrone Mings, away from home to Club Brugge. And then Shakhtar Donetsk got the better of Young Boys by 2 goals to 1. The team with the highest goals in Europe this season, talking about Hansi Flick's Barcelona, got the better of Zveda by 5 goals to 2. And then we saw Feyenoord lost at home to RB Salzburg by 3 goals to 1. Inter Milan got the better of Arsenal by a lone goal yesterday. It ended 1-0 in favor of Inter Milan. And then Atletico Madrid did a comeback to win PSG at home, or away from home, I should put it that way, by 2 goals to 1. And then Sparta Prague lost to Brest, who have been so impressive this season. This is their debut season in the Champions League, and so far they are unbeaten. In fact, they are currently sitting fourth in the Champions League table, their first ever season in the Champions League, and they are starting off strong. They got the better of Sparta Praha by 2 goals to 1, and then Ademola Lookman on the score sheet again as Atalanta away from home got the better of Stuttgart by 2 goals to 0, and then Bayern Munich, back to winning ways in the Champions League, got the better of a resilient Benfica team. That game ended 1-0, courtesy of a Jamal Musiala header. So that was that for the Champions League and all of the games that went out. But some interesting results. Liverpool 4-0, Real Madrid 3-1, Manchester City losing 4-1, Barcelona scoring goals for 4 and 5. So far so good. The way the Champions League is going, which teams are you expecting to finish in the top 8 and make it through to the next round?
But I think at first we want to pick Real Madrid at first, considering their records in the Champions League. But I think these days the kind of football that is being played now doesn't really respect hierarchy or whatever your history is. Kind of football that has been played now is you see these teams, you just want to show that yes, if these big these so-called big clubs, they can do it, we can also do it. So you understand? So
more like a case of they are no longer minnows.
Exactly. Now, you have a Barcelona being very ruthless. You know, Hansi Flick wants to do the job, and when he's doing the job, he wants to eliminate the opponent totally, that they can't even
show you no mercy.
Exactly, he wants to be merciless with it. So we expect a Barcelona to be out of the group stage. We expect Liverpool as well, even our Aston Villa from all the way from England. We expect them to be the surprise of the season. But we are going to be getting interesting results at the end of the group stage.
Well, okay, so let me just give you a rundown of the teams currently, should I say in the top 15? Because we have 36 teams on that table, and I can't give you a rundown of all of the teams, but I'm just going to stick with the top 15 per se. Or should I make it the top 20? In fact, I think it's currently displaying on the screen right now, so but you can just take a glimpse of what we have on the screen. The reason why I'm saying the top 20, because Real Madrid seem to be in the top 20 this time. But as it stands, in that same order, from number 1 to number 20, it is Liverpool, Sporting CP, Monaco, and Brest. They make up the top 4. Inter Milan, Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, and Aston Villa are the teams that make up the top 8 currently as we speak. And then from 9th place we get to see Atalanta, Manchester City, Juventus, Arsenal, Leverkusen, Lille, Celtic, Dynamo Zagreb, Bayern, Real Madrid, Benfica, AC Milan, Feyenoord, Club Brugge, Atleti, and PSV. Those are the teams that make up the top 24 teams rather, and then below is the likes of PSG and co. Those ones I don't think they would be going in. Those are the ones that will be eliminated. The ones within 9 to 24 would get a chance at the playoff, the knockout playoffs for them to qualify. But those in the top 8 are straight to the round of 16. Well, some people will tell you it's still early days. We've got 4 more games to go, and you never know what will happen with these 4 games. But so far so good. For me personally, I think the way it started, it is hard to write off anyone, because the points difference is not much, because you look at Atalanta currently in 9th position with 8 points, and then Liverpool topping with 12 points. If Liverpool were to lose a game and they maintain 12 points, Atalanta win, that would be 11. So the disparity is not really much. So it's still difficult at this stage to call. But I think the minimum number of points required for you to make it through to the next round, you need to get at least 17, 18 points before you can finally say, okay, you are secured. So far so good. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Which team are you expecting to remain unbeaten? Do you think any team is going to try that to remain unbeaten? So far, Liverpool, they have a 100% record, straight wins. They've won their first 4 games. Sporting are currently second with 10 points. They're also unbeaten, but they've drawn one of their games. So are you expecting Liverpool to go all the way, maintain 100% record, or do you think, hey, your time is gonna come and then you're gonna flop? I don't have their current list of fixtures here, but what are you expecting from Liverpool?
I personally think Liverpool are going to they are going to finish the league unbeaten. You know, their start this season,
Mm.
all competition. I think they've lost just once. They've lost just in 16 games. They won 14.
Mm.
So I think Liverpool have whatever it takes to ensure they finish the league stage
Mm.
unbeaten. As far as Sporting,
Yeah.
you know, I think they are going to be thinking of replacing their manager, which
Mm.
United has snatched away from them.
Yeah.
Then you want to talk about changing systems, and
Mm.
so we do we just hope they give us beautiful football.
All right, we hope to see beautiful football. Well, talking about beautiful football, we are going to go on a very short break. Once we return, we will be talking about the UEFA Europa League. Yes, where some interesting games are lined up for today. Yes, all these games are going to be going down simultaneously today. So let's go on this quick break. Once we return back, we'll be going straight to the Europa League. Right, once again, you are welcome back. You're still locked on to your favorite online television channel, CTV, and this is your favorite football show. Yes, Football Domain. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is the show where we get to discuss everything going on in the world of football. I remain your host, the principal thing, Wisdom Chingoba, in the good company of Azan Shuarao, and together we're holding it down for you, serving you all of the interesting conversations currently going on in the world of sport. Before we went on the break, we were talking about the UEFA Champions League, and now we would be changing our focus to the UEFA Europa League that would be going down today. We saw a game actually go down yesterday in the Europa League, and that was Besiktas who got the better of Malmo FC by 2 goals to 1. But today we've got some interesting fixtures. In fact, some big games and some mouth-watering fixtures. I'm gonna give you a rundown of the games that would be going down. We get to see Bodo Glimt take on Quarabag, and that game would be by 6:45 p.m. tonight. In fact, so many games will be going down simultaneously. We get to see Bodo Glimt take on Quarabag 6:45 p.m. and then Elfsborg will take on FC Braga. FCSB will take on FC Midtjylland as well. Frankfurt will take on Slavia Praha, and then we get to see Victor Osimhen come up against Ange Postecoglou and his boys. Yes, Galatasaray will take on Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, that is in fact the biggest game of this match week in the Europa League. And then we get to see Ludogorets take on Athletic Club, and OGC Nice will take on FC20. Olympiacos will take on Rangers. Union St. Gallen will take on Roma. And later on by 9 p.m., we get to see Ajax taking on Maccabi Tel Aviv. AZ Alkmaar will take on Fenerbahce. Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce. We get to see Dynamo Kiev take on Ferencvaros. Offenheim will take on Lyon. Lazio will take on Porto. Another big game to look out for. And then the one that is definitely going to make the headlines, Manchester United taking on PAOK FC. And then we get to see RFS taking on Anderlecht. And then Victoria Pleasant will take on Real Sociedad. Those are the games that will be going down today in the Europa League. Azan, this is for you. Which game is your eyes going to be on this weekend, or should I say this evening, apart from United and Galatasaray that are going to be making the headlines? Which game are you looking forward to?
I think let's see what the special one does in his own fixture.
You say Mourinho.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually going to be away to AZ Alkmaar, and that's the game you are most you're expecting to get fireworks from.
Yes, I think so. You know, the likes of former Manchester United players that are there, and even the special one with his pride.
Yeah.
I think he put a stunt last week in their previous fixture last week,
Yeah.
where he had to bring in his own personal laptop,
Mm.
and Jose
Yeah.
Mourinho, that's his style. He
Mourinho
just
never
wants
gets
to
old.
cause upsets.
Yeah.
So let's see what he does today as well.
All right. But also another fixture that I think for me is high catching has to be Lazio and Porto. Lazio and Porto, another interesting game to look out for. Lazio, our own Fisayo Dele Basho, who is currently on form right now. And then Arsenal's outcast in Nuno Tavares, one of the most exciting left back right now in the world. The man is currently on form, and is one that I'm also looking out for. And then FC Porto. We know when it comes to the Europa League, at least we also what they did to Manchester United, or almost did to
That
Manchester
was that
United.
was heartbreaking.
Yeah,
That was really
so
heartbreaking.
it
You can't be losing. You can't be winning 2 goals up, and then you just fumble your victory. It's kind
it's
of
Manchester United. And talking of United, now let's finally focus on them. In fact, they will be taking on Park FC at Old Trafford by 9 p.m. What are your expectations in that game? You can see under Ruud van Nistelrooy, United they seem to have a bit of fresh air. What they've scored how many goals now? 6 goals in their last 2 games. 5-2 against Leicester, and played out a 1-0 draw with Chelsea. A game that a lot of United fans feel they should have won. But what are your expectations going into this game?
there is always this kind of feeling, or should I say, there's this kind of performance that comes with United changing managers.
Mm,
Each players, they want to perform. They want to see. They want the fans to see that it is not their fault for the manager getting sacked.
mm.
So they want to perform. They just
But
want to.
really,
They want to show what they.
is it their fault?
Well, a lot of people are going to say no. You cannot blame only the manager for
Mm,
the underperformance of the players.
yeah.
Like Bruno Fernandes came out and said no, it's because you cannot sack 15 players. You have
Mm,
to allow the manager go.
yeah.
You understand?
Mm,
So these are the things that we are going to look at.
mm,
But coming from the previous 2 games that they played,
mm,
winning Leicester 5-2, then a 1-0 draw against Chelsea at Old Trafford.
yeah.
A lot of people might say, yeah, they are ready to go into the next game
Mm,
with Ruud Van Nistelrooy on
yeah.
the helms of our affairs at United. But I think the Chelsea game is a kind of was played based on pride,
Mm,
the rivalries, and there's this kind of saying in the streets where I grew up that even if Man United gets relegated to Principal's Cup
yeah. Christmas
they
Cup
are
in
never
Nigeria.
gonna lose to Chelsea. This
Mm,
kind of rivalry that you just want to show that no, we are bigger than you, and when I'm big.
mm,
You understand?
yeah.
So, but I feel like Van Nistelrooy, he has whatever it takes to at least get 3 goals past Park today.
Mm. Well, Mazan is expecting nothing less than 3 goals from United against Park FC, and I think it would be fair to say that we have 2 United fans currently on the show right now. So for me as well, I'm expecting goals. I'm expecting fireworks from Manchester United. Well, I wonder what you make of the conversation. Yes, to you out there, our wonderful listeners, we're currently streaming right now on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook as well, CTV Live. That is the handle. You can do well to drop your suggestions or your opinions or whatever you think of the conversation in the comment section. And before the end of the show, we might get to read out some of your comments, your opinions, and get to take your thoughts on all of these conversations. So you can do well to go find us on YouTube CTV. That is the handle, CTV Live. You can do well to drop your comments in the comment section, and then we're going to try to read out some of your thoughts before the end of the show. Yes, and don't forget, guys, that this show is sponsored by the Adama Sule Foundation. Well, I'm still talking on the Europa League, and finally, before we change our talking point, let's talk about Galatasaray and Tottenham Hotspur. That is one game that so many Nigerians are looking forward to because of our star man Victor Osimhen, who has been impressive in the Europa League as well. In fact, in his last 2 or 3 games for Galatasaray, he found the back of the net. He seemed to be finding his feet back in Galatasaray. But for Tottenham Hotspur, brimming with confidence right now, defeating Manchester City in the League Cup, smashing Aston Villa by 4 goals to 1. Now coming up against Galatasaray, who are currently on form. That is is one game we are expecting fireworks from, and we know Turkey, especially Galatasaray, that place. Will I describe it as a hostile ground? They have no mercy for the English teams.
It's actually
Yeah. So
hostile.
so what are you expecting in that game?
Well, I think Big Angie is going to he's going to do his job there.
Mm.
I mean, I'm the manager of the Tottenham manager, of course.
Yeah.
Uh, well, Galatasaray for them they have a big target man.
Mm.
You know, Victor Osimhen. He's been prolific for them this season, and I think they are going to want to cause upset for Tottenham Hotspur. But you
Mm.
know, Tottenham Hotspur with the attacking prowess they've got this season, kind of creativity in the midfield with James Madison. You
Yeah.
know, I am very much scared for Osimhen right now. I
Hmm.
think this one, well,
So you haven't doubts he's gonna get on the score sheet tonight?
no, not scoring. I think he might be on the score sheet, or he might as well get an assist.
Hmm. But
But
in terms
winning
of
the game,
winning the
I think it's
game,
gonna be difficult for Galatasaray the entire team.
hmm. But you're playing at home.
Well, they might be playing at home, but this is Tottenham Hotspur we are talking about.
Well, Tottenham Hotspur, they are not really the scariest team right now. But so
You know,
Azan is choosing to give
we
Spurs
have to
benefit of the doubt.
we are no 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 no. We have to talk about Tottenham Hotspur pulling that 4 goals during the weekend
Yeah,
against Aston Villa. You know, it was for me. It was like
it's
when I
surprising.
it was surprising. You know,
Yeah,
they are 1 goal down against a Unai Emery team, and you kind of wonder how are they going to win.
yeah,
And then the man just in the second half just
did
a
his
team talk,
magic.
just 15 minutes team talk, and it was like I saw 4-1.
Well, yeah, all right. So Azan is choosing to give Spurs a chance. So let's hope that this game gets to give us fireworks and the like. So guys, that is that for the Europa League. We are gonna go on a very quick break, and when we return again, we're gonna talk about Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. City have lost their last 3 games. You might want to stick around to find out why. Hassan has got some reasons for us as to why Manchester City are currently struggling. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a bit. Alright, once again, you're still welcome back to Football Domain on your number one online television channel, CTV. Football Domain is the show where we get to discuss everything going on in the world of football. I am your host, Wisdom Chinuba, in the good company of Azan Shu around, and we've been having some interesting conversation concerning the games that went down in Europe last night, and the ones that will be going down tonight in the Europa League. But we're gonna shift our conversation and talk about Manchester City, who seem to be struggling right now at the moment. Yes, they've lost their last 3 games, and so many reasons have been flying about Manchester City, especially those last 3 games. They've been without the Ballon d'Or winner. Talking about Rodrigo himself, Rodri. Yes, he won the Ballon d'Or. That is no news, but yeah, Manchester City have been without him, and guess what? They've lost their last 3 games, losing to Spurs by 2 goals to 1 in the League Cup, and then getting shocked by AFC Bournemouth by 2 goals to 1. Some might say an informed Bournemouth team that also defeated Arsenal, and then losing by 4 goals to 1 to Sporting, and the new Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim. So, Azan, I'm going to come to you on this one. How important, or would you also concur with the idea that City are struggling without Rodri and potentially Kevin De Bruyne?
Well, I think the player they are currently missing right now is Rodri, because you know last season they were games they played without Kevin De Bruyne, and they still like produce
Mm.
um
They still
brilliant
put up, yeah, put up nice
performance.
performances.
So you have to talk about Rodri, and he's the anchor man in that midfield. He
Mm.
decides whatever goes for him. He decides whoever comes back.
Mm.
You know, he's kind of the person that makes the decisions. He
Mm.
reads the game better than any other player. He's the leader in the team.
Mm.
He's the leader in the team. Then we take Kevin De Bruyne,
Mm.
who we all know he has that prowess to just create out of nothing.
Yeah.
To create out of nothing. So I think that has been one of those reasons why Erling Haaland has been kind of
Short of goals.
this season it's kind of heartbreaking the way he is. He
He
doesn't
seems to
even
be
bring
out
out
of
the
sorts.
goals.
Yeah.
You are going to ask, is Haaland not playing? You are going to ask this
Mm.
question, what's going on with Erling Haaland? Is he that he is a fraud, or these
Yeah.
questions that comes from rival fans.
Mm-hmm.
They want to talk about why is this person not performing. They
Yeah.
want to say, oh no, Haaland is not good without Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, they
Mm.
want to say, oh, Kevin De Bruyne is not good without Erling Haaland.
Mm.
You know, they, they just want to ask these questions.
Yeah.
But I think they are lacking creativity at the back.
Mm.
I mean, in the midfield
Yeah.
and going up front, they're also lacking. They are missing a Kevin De Bruyne. So these are those things, But we can't really say we can't really put all the reasons on missing Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri
Yeah.
alone. We have to talk about other clubs too coming up with different
Different
tactics, new
tactics. Yeah.
systems, that are kind of the modern football ways now.
Mm.
So we have to talk about that. Aston Villa, imagine a Tottenham Hotspur giving us beautiful performances. And the Sporting Lisbon with a modern manager. That's what they
Mm.
call him, a modern manager.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we are going to talk about these things. Bournemouth as well,
Mm.
having a very young and intelligent manager as well.
Mm.
They want to try new things. They want to challenge the Pep Guardiola. I can say they are all Guardiola's disciples when it comes to the kind of philosophies they want to play these
Yeah.
days. But I think Pep he should be proud of whatever he has started in football right now.
Mm. Well, one interesting thing about Manchester City's midfield over the last 3 games is the fact that he's played mostly Mateo Kovacic in that midfield position. But you remember at the start of the season, Pep had to go and bring back Ilkay Gundogan, for the possible replacement of Kevin De Bruyne whenever he's been out injured. But it seems as if that has not worked out well because since Kevin De Bruyne has not been around, City have seemed to be struggling, especially over their last 3 games. They've run of goal. But one interesting thing is that despite the fact that they've lost all of those 3 games, they've actually scored. They've actually scored a goal in all of those 3 games, losing 2-1, 2-1, 4-1. They seem to just know how to find the back of the net, but that back line seemed to be out of sorts. And I'm wondering, right, the midfield. Yes, Rodri as is out of the midfield, but you look at the defense of Manchester City. Most of the goals they've conceded have been defensive lapses. Now you look at against Lisbon, they considered two penalties. Considered two penalties against Lisbon, and I'm wondering, are we really going to attribute it just to Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne alone, or are we also going to talk about the defense not really, stepping up now that key players are not really around, and then you talk about the forward players, the chances you get, they're not converting.
Well, as I said earlier, I said you can't put the whole factors on the fact that they are missing Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri. But
Mm,
I think when you have leaders that are out of the team
mm,
due to injuries,
yeah,
other players they get disorganized.
mm,
When the person that is at the front of the defense line
mm.
is not there, the normal face
The
that we are
caution,
used to seeing
yeah,
is the one that knows that, okay, go this place, you stay here, you go front. These are what the
yeah,
leaders
he always
do.
bring a
He's
certain
the one that
organized,
he balance the
yeah,
defense line.
mm,
But when he's not there, and you have to bring in Matthew Kovacic, who is absolutely, he's just is like, his role is actually the destroyer there. He's the
mm,
destroyer there. He's not really the anchor. You
mm,
know, Rodri is the anchor.
mm,
He can destroy
mm,
when you ask him to do that.
yeah,
But at the same time, he controls the flow of the game.
mm,
Kovacic is not that person,
mm,
and you can't bringing him a pivot of Kovacic and Ike Gundogan. I
mm,
don't think it's really gonna work because Gundogan as he has gone to Barcelona, he
mm,
has played a different system there.
mm,
He played a different system there, and now coming back,
mm.
we have to consider the age factor, then the atmosphere, the kind of players that he's gonna be playing with coming into the new team.
Mm.
You understand?
He's coming in as a
And we
new
know Pep
player
Guardiola
now.
as somebody who is trying to change his system as
Mm.
well, because absolutely knows that people are now they are about his tactics and
Yeah.
everything. So he wants to change the system. So I don't think bringing Gundogan into the midfield there with Kovacic, I don't think it's gonna work for him. So I think for me,
Mm.
I think what they are missing is the leader's yeah, the leader's
Yeah,
touch.
yeah. Well, so before we go for one final break, let's just talk about Amorim and Manchester United. He's gonna take over the job November 11 during the international break. Prior to the game against Manchester City, he spoke during his presser saying, "Hey, if we don't win against Manchester City, the expectations would drop. But if we get to win against Manchester City, they would say the new Alex Ferguson is in town." And but he decided to do the latter, and decided to do the latter and do the new Alex Ferguson. So defeating Manchester City by 4 goals to 1. So um, going into the international break, he's gonna have time to sort himself out and all of that. But what are your expectations for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United?
I think in the start he has started very humbly.
Mm,
Not like the man from the Netherlands
mm,
saying eras come to end.
mm.
He has started humbly.
Trying to play mind games.
Exactly. That's it for me. Everybody has this belief that yes, I can do it. I can challenge for titles. But you don't have to come out and start saying this is what you want to do. This is the way you want to play.
Mm,
A lot of people are going to the expectations are going to be very high, like you said.
mm,
So if you are coming and say no, this is what we want to do. We want to end eras,
mm.
like Eric Ten Hag said. And
Ten
whatever.
Hag did end eras. He ended eras. He ended the era of Pep winning the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup.
I think for
Won't,
for
you- won't,
for
won't you
Ten
give
Hag,
won't you give him credit for
for
that?
Ten Hag, you might see it as an achievement, in Manchester United, and well, of
Well,
course, it is an achievement
sorry,
because
sorry to cut you. For Eric Ten Hag, actually, I actually stumbled upon a website that was talking about Eric Ten Hag. For him, the losing the United job was actually very personal for him because United was the biggest job of his career, and he gave it 101% for him. And winning those two trophies were the most cherishable thing, in fact, in his career. The Netherlands is his home, so winning with Ajax and all of that. It's nice, but with Manchester United, he gets to go there, win the FA Cup, win the Carabao Cup. For him, it's very special. That's why he kept on bragging about it that hey, we won two trophies. But now let's put it this way: for Ruben Amorim, if for instance he comes in and after 2 years no trophy, and then for just like us now you're finishing second, third, are you gonna be satisfied as a United fan, or would you rather keep on winning the trophies and then hey, you play your normal Europa League football, and then oh, if you get to qualify you finish fourth and all of that? Because right now Arsenal fans are starting to get impatient with Mikel Arteta saying no trophies in 5 years. We're losing the Premier League trophy, diamond it all the time. So just very quickly, very brief. What would you settle
I
for
think
with Ruben Amorim?
I think for now we should focus on having better performances in the league.
Mm,
That is where you actually see your development. Whether we are, anybody can go into a cup competition and you
mm.
come out we victorious.
But not everyone does it.
Not everyone does it, but mostly, even teams that are struggling, they you can remember the 2016 Europa League victory of Manchester United with Jose Mourinho.
Mm,
Winning that cup, they were actually struggling in the league.
mm,
But Jose Mourinho just, we are going to defend, then we
mm.
just one counter attack, score one goal, and we come back to
Lock
defend.
up, yeah.
That is the kind of a mentality for struggling teams. But when you are actually progressing, you want to keep on pressing, you want to keep on doing that upsets and
Mm,
everything. So I think we should focus on progressing in the league.
mm.
So after the league, then we can talk of what are we doing in the cup trophy
Cup
competitions as well.
competition.
So
Okay. All right, so for you, the league first, and then the cup competitions second. So guys, well, I'm having fun on the show, and I know you right there over on the other side as well as having fun. We're gonna go for one final break. Once we return, we would be drawing the curtain. But before we draw the curtain, we're gonna talk about Lobi Stars who have done something new. Yes, there's a foreign coach in the Nigerian Professional Football League, and I know you want to stick around to find out more about that. And yes, the Super Eagles, the list have been released for the final set of the AFCON qualifiers against Benin Republic and Rwanda. So, guys, when we return from this break, that would be our conversation before we call it a wrap on today's show. So, do well to stick around. We'll be back in a bit. All right, once again, welcome back. You are still listening to Football Domain on your number one online television channel, CTV. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is the show where we get to discuss everything going on in the world of football. Prior to the break, we've been having some interesting conversations. Yes, we've spoken about everything that have gone down in the world of European football. Yes, talking about the Champions League that went down yesterday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then the Europa League that would be going down today. Yes, this evening we also spoke about Ruben Amorim, the new United manager, introducing himself to the world, especially to the Premier League and Pep in a wonderful way. And we spoke about City struggling. And right now we're going to be shifting our attention. We'll be coming back home to Africa, back home to Nigeria, where in the MPFL there's been a new development. Yes, we are. Well, firstly, I have to put it out there and say that the MPFL this season has been very interesting. Finidi George back in the MPFL, doing what he knows how to do best in the MPFL, dominating teams as usual, although they lost their last game. But Lobi Stars seem to have appointed a new manager. And guess what, guys? It is not your Nigerian manager. It is a foreign coach. The first foreign coach we are having in the MPFL is in the person of Mika Lundstrom. He is a Finnish manager, yes, from Finland. Mika Lundstrom is his name. So he would be taking over Lobi Stars, and he would be leading them for this 2024-2025 campaign. And one thing though, it's quite an interesting development, I have to say, Azan, that we're finally getting to see foreign coaches. In fact, we have some foreign players in our league right now. But while I was doing my digging on Mika Lundstrom, I came across a very interesting stat that got me wondering why we should have just stuck with our local coaches that are doing well rather than go for a foreign coach that's not doing well. Why do I say so? Now, for Mika Lundstrom, in his entire managerial career, he's averaged just 1.6 points per game, and I'm wondering that is not really a good record for a manager that is coming to compete against the likes of Finidi George, Daniel Ogumodede, and Fidelis Lechuko in the MPFL. Or what do you think about that?
Well, I actually believe that there are certain reasons for people, making appointments and likes. So, three things for me.
Okay.
Three things. I can really point to three things here.
Mm.
The first thing is we are going to start asking questions like, are there no Nigerian coaches? Don't we have African coaches
Yeah.
that can actually fill in the role of the
Lobi
manager?
Stars.
But then again, for me, I see it as a kind of publicity that the Nigerian league as well
It's growing.
is growing. You can say that at least we have a foreign coach here now in one of our local clubs.
Yeah.
So we can say we are growing.
Mm-hmm.
We are growing in, let's say, 5-10 years, we expect more of them.
Yeah.
That's where the development actually starts.
Yeah.
So you just have to take that big step. Then the third thing for me is I think we are still on this idea of foreign coach mentality. We believe that when a foreigner comes in, I think they are going to make the difference. We want to scare people with a foreigner. We want to scare
Automatic difference.
that we are still on that ideology that white men are better than the black technicians, on our touch lines.
Well, I just hope things goes well for Lobi Stars and Mika Lundstrom. But I think but the thing about Mika Lundstrom is the fact that despite the fact that for a manager personally, he's not had a wonderful record in terms of winning games, but his world of experience is something that is very crucial in terms. He served as assistant managers in different clubs in the Finnish league. He's also served as a sporting director, technical director. He's also served as he's also he's also served as technical director, like I said, the sporting director as well. He's had, he's been at the helm of affairs at, some big clubs per se in the Finnish league. So coming over to the MPFL, he's bringing in a world of experience. So we just, wish him luck and we hope he gets to spice up the league and make it interesting. But to give you a rundown of the games that went down for match day 10, we saw Academy Warriors defeat Kasina United by a goal to nil. Bayelsa and Ayimba, that game ended 1-0. Aqua United got the better of Kwara United by 2 goals to 1. Kano Pillars got the better of Plateau United by 2 goals to 1. And then Bendel Insurance got the better of Sunshine 2 goals to 1 as well. Outland of Owerri defeated Abia Warriors by 2 goals to nil. Remo Stars defeated Lobi Stars by 1 goal to nil. And the new manager would be taking over. It was actually announced on Tuesday. The new manager, so we will probably be taking over this weekend where they get to take on Abia Warriors at home. And Rangers got the better of Nasarawa United by 2 goals to nil. And then Ikorodu City shocked everyone and defeated Rivers United by 2 goals to nil at home. And then Niger Tornadoes got the better of Shooting Stars by 2 goals to nil. So Rivers United, their unbeaten run came to an end on Sunday where Ikorodu City stunned them at home. But going into this weekend, Lobi Stars, like I said earlier, will take on Abia Warriors. Bendel Insurance will take on Kano Pillars. Heartland will take on Sunshine Stars. Eyimba will take on Remo Stars. That is a mouth-watering fixture, the biggest fixture of this weekend in the MPFL. That game would be on Sunday. Eyimba taking on Remo Stars. We get to see Kasina United take on Ikorodu City. Niger Tornadoes will take on Aqua United. Rivers United will take on Bayelsa United. Plateau United will take on Enugu Rangers. Nasarawa United will take on Kwara United. Shooting Stars will take on El Kanemi Warriors. So many United teams in the MPFL. But let's just hope that they are all united and fighting for one goal, to finish strong in the MPFL. And finally, our last conversation of the day before we pack our Guangoro out of the studio. It is the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, our interim coach, Augustine Eguavoen has released his 23-man list. Yes, for the AFCON qualifiers that would be going down on the 14th and 18th of November. Yes, we're taking on Benin Republic. Yes, we'll be going away from home and we're going all the way to Benin Republic on the 14th. That is Thursday to take on Benin Republic, and then we'll be back home in Nigeria to take on Rwanda. So let me give you a rundown of the players that were called up for these two games, and then Azan, I get to hear from you which player you thought should have been included and who you think that is currently on this list that was not meant to make it there. So starting from the goalkeepers, we get to see Stanley Nwabali, Maduka Okoye, and then Amas Obasoji. Going over to the defenders, Bright Osai Samuel, Calvin Bassey, William Trust Ekong, Olaino, Bruno Onyemaechi, Gabriel Osho, and then Victor Collins from Nasarawa United, the only player from the MPFL included in the squad. The left back Victor Collins. Hopefully he gets to rival Bruno Onyemaechi on that left hand side. And the midfielders Alex Iwobi, Frank Onyeka, Al Hassan Yusuf, Wilfred and Didi, Fisayo Dele Bashiru, Rafael Onyedika, and then for the forward players, we get to see Ademola Lukman, Samuel Chukwueze, Victor Osimhen, Moses Simon, Kelechi Iheanacho, Victor Boniface, and the man that abandoned us before, Umar Sadiq. So, Azan, over to you. What do you make of this squad list? Perfect, or would you make any change to it?
I think certain players, for example, with the man you said abandoned us. I don't think he
Umar
should be
Sadiq.
there. Since 2022 season, since 2022 till now, I think he
Yeah.
has scored just 4 times
Hmm.
for Real Sociedad, where he
Wow.
plays in the Spanish La Liga. He has scored just 4 times,
Hmm.
and you kind of wonder he's not even in form.
Hmm.
How did he get there?
Yeah.
Why was he there in the first place?
Mhm.
Like this guy was not even in the map.
Hmm.
Was not even in the map. So then you think of Kelechi Iheanacho. You think of Kelechi Iheanacho and you ask why is he not there? Even if I think he's netted 2 times for Sevilla
Yeah.
side.
Iheanacho is in the list.
Just
Iheanacho is in the list.
he's in the list. Then
Yeah.
I beg my pardon. Then but still, you still want to question some certain players.
Hmm.
There is this guy. His name kind of sounds too long. It's a Yoruba name, and I'm very sorry. I cannot really pronounce. He plays in the Belgian league, and he's currently on a 9 game scoring streak right now
Yeah.
in Nigeria. He's been performing, but he's not there. I think we have about 3 striking options
Options.
that are not there. Then I talk of Victor Boniface.
Yeah.
Victor Boniface. He's kind of prolific
In the Bundesliga.
Bundesliga, but when it comes to the national
Team.
team, he just wants to remain the meme lord. He
Well,
draw.
Well, there've been so
We
many conversations about Victor Boniface, and some analysts and some football experts um, are saying Boniface is not really being deployed in the best of his position, because the kind of formation and the kind of game plan he is being deployed in Bayer Leverkusen is different from what is being played at the Super Eagles, and he's more like a supporting striker, attacking midfielder kind of player. So he likes to drop back. So most times in the Super Eagles, when the attack is on and they're trying to get the ball into the box, because he's the kind of striker or forward player that likes to drop back to get the ball, is not there. He likes to have the ball at his feet. And I remember Augustine Iguavo, also saying something about it. That he's going to talk to Boniface that once he gets the ball, he needs to, make up his mind quickly and let the ball out of his leg. But he's the kind of player that he loves to massage the ball.
just wants to hold
He
the
wants to take
ball.
on players. He wants to take on players and run at them and all of that. And so I think that's the reason
But I think
he's not
he
scoring
needs
goals.
to start thinking of himself as somebody who is meant to be versatile and not just that's just one position that you are used to. Victor Osimhen, for example, is we know him as a target man, but at times he comes back, he drops deep to play with the midfield.
Yeah.
That's the kind of player that we want. A player that he knows that once I'm playing as a center forward today, and the tactics means that I'm staying up front, I shouldn't go back. And whenever I need to release the ball, you know when to release the ball. I think feel a bit part of the team, and do something. So that's my perspective.
All right. Okay. So our time is fast spent. So finally, just your prediction. Benin Republic on the 14th. What is your expectation? What's your prediction against Benin Republic on the 14th? We're going away from home to Benin Republic. Your
Those
prediction?
ones,
Just prediction. Just prediction.
those ones they are not serious.
Just prediction as well. No
But
analysis. Just prediction.
I think ah it's kind of difficult to say, but at least Nigeria should get a goal. Nigeria should get a goal and we should win.
Okay. So So let's just assume you're predicting a 1-0 victory.
Yes.
Against Rwanda. We're
Yeah.
playing at home against Rwanda.
Rwanda, we should be doing them a two-goal favor.
Oh, 2 goal in favor of Nigeria. So that is it. Well, by the way, guys, for those of you that were not aware, after the Libya incident, well, CAF ruled in our favor, and we got the 3 points and 3 goals. Let's just say that game against Libya, we ended it 3 goals to
Hope
nil.
Libyans are not watching, Sha.
Oh, come on, Libyans, whether you're watching or not, I do not
They are
care
angry
because
in Libya. Oh.
we
They
what
are, they are angry.
whether they are angry or not, let them come. Even I myself, I'll give them more.
You
All right,
said it. I
guys.
didn't say it. You said it.
Disclaimer.
You said it. I
Did you
didn't
hear
say
me
it.
say anything? Did I say anything?
No.
All right, guys. Thank you very much to everyone that has been a part of today's show. It's been fun. It's been a wonderful ride, Azan. Thank you very much for being on today's show. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you.
Yes, and once again to you, our beautiful listeners, it's been a wonderful ride. Thank you to everyone that sent their messages, to everyone that was streaming on YouTube and other platforms. I'm sorry we weren't able to take your messages. Our time was fast spent, but hey, next time I promise to do so once your messages start dropping in. So, guys, do not forget that this show is sponsored by the Adama Sule Foundation, and we hope to catch you next time, same station, same time, right here on your favorite online television channel, CTV. I've been your host, the principal thing, Wisdom Chingoba, and guys, do not forget Proverbs 4 verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Dear, forget wisdom, and in order to get and get understanding, do have a beautiful, beautiful day.